So why
do
do so many women think that sex is the only thing men care about when it's usually the first thing that men care about?
Because they're stupid.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh damn! Hey ladies and gentlemen, it's another video from It's Complicated. Great question, great answers about male responsibility, so let's go.
Would you agree that women are more complicated than men?
Yes, 100%. I do. I think
Yeah,
so.
way more complicated.
Are men too simple to understand women, or are women just too complex to be understood?
I think too complex to be understood.
I want
yeah.
my
Okay.
husband to read my mind.
Yeah, and that's
And he
never
can't.
going to happen.
Yeah.
And I can't expect that, but I do.
Is it better to be complicated or to be simple?
I think it's better to be simple.
Simple, simple, simple. I think simple is better because it's easier to forget issues in the past. Because some people have like a movie in their head, you know?
Your
Yeah.
life will be easier, I
Yeah,
think.
It's harder when you're
Because you're not
complicated.
expecting things out of people that you're not going to get.
Exactly.
Some people think it's better to be complicated, and I'm like, why is
No.
it better to be complicated if it makes it harder to be
No,
understood?
no,
I'm
no.
complicated, and
And
I have no idea
and
why.
I
and
wish I
know
wasn't, yeah.
I know it's wrong.
My
but I
anxiety
am.
takes over. I would rather be simple.
You ever heard of the term stoic? You know what stoic means?
I do. Yeah.
Okay, well, how would you define stoic?
Stoic is kind of like you're just kind of there, no expression. You're just kind of emotionless.
Like sober Sam.
yeah,
Just like,
yeah.
Stoic is typically a term that's applied to men, like, you know,
Yes.
strong stoic
Yeah,
men.
yeah.
Why do you think women aren't, you know, encouraged to be more stoic?
I don't know.
question.
Yeah.
No,
If a
really.
woman is more stoic, she's gonna be deemed as a bitch
Yeah,
or resting bitch face.
that's true.
That's like
Yeah.
they want. It's like society wants women to be in this middle ground that doesn't exist. They want us to be outspoken, but not too outspoken.
They want you to
Happy,
work
but
and
not
take
too
care of your
happy.
kids.
Yeah.
They want you
If you couldn't generalize about relationships, why would anyone ever bother giving relationship advice?
I think people should probably stop doing that.
Interesting, really? Okay.
I feel like every relationship is so unique that there's no right answer for it.
But you still need a general good rule so you can decide, hey, generally, I don't like that, so I will do my own thing. You still need something. Because usually, you might not even admit it, I've seen a lot of people do the opposite. The only reason, because it's cool. Because it's in their nature. Because generally, they are a rebel, right?
Why are there best-selling books called Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, which generalize about men and women? There are exceptions, but is is generalizing always wrong?
I feel like it is wrong.
Okay. But I mean, don't women typically like want to date men taller than them? Isn't that a pattern?
That's true. That is very true.
So you can generalize about that, right?
Okay,
So you
yeah.
can- so generalizing is not always wrong.
I mean, I feel like that's a bad one, but I feel like you shouldn't do that.
Okay. No.
It shouldn't be a requirement for a man to be taller than you if you like them.
It shouldn't be a requirement, but that doesn't change the fact that most people feel attracted to taller men. So that's the thing. It's not that it's bad to generalize. I think you should be more like, generally, if you have a good character, depending on the situation, your height doesn't matter. I think that's the best explanation that you can give. So instead of making it easier to be discarded because of something you cannot control, give them more option on how they can be flexible, right? It's the same as all the girls on TV. We are taught that we have to be very nice, very cordial, and that's the princess ending. But in real life, what happens? I can see only this gangster dude taking all the women. I'm like, wait, but I'm doing everything perfect because nobody taught me how to get the woman. Because you have to do some kinky stuff. Go after the woman. But nobody teaches you that as a kid. So you grow up with the delusion that if I'm being nice, in the future, everything will be Gucci. And that is taught generally. But that's also wrong, right?
What's the first thought that pops into your head when you see a really attractive man?
If they have a girlfriend or a wife, if they're taken, if they find me attractive, if they're gonna approach me.
Okay, and what do you think are like the first few thoughts that pop into a man's head when he sees an attractive female?
Ooh.
Is she easy?
No. Usually it's like, damn, she looks good and that close. Woo, look at that. But in the next episode of Dragon Balls, Kamehameha, it's just a momentary thing. That's it. It just flashes. That's it.
Like, are her boobs big? Does she have a wedding ring? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Can I get laid?
usually something sexual, right?
Always. I think it's always. yeah.
Do you think that sex is the only thing that men care about, or is it just the first thing that men care about?
I think first. First. I don't think only.
So why do so many women think that sex is the only thing men care about when it's usually the first thing that men care about?
Because they're stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, oh damn! Did not I did not expect that answer. But hey, she's honest. I really like that. There's nothing better than a honest woman. I kid you not. There is something beautiful and sexy about honest women that lowers my defense at such a level that I just wanna, you know what? I'll do anything you want. Just be honest and real.
No, because that's what men portray. They make it seem like it's all about sex, but really, they really do care about your personality.
Which of the following do you think is more true? That a man's ideal woman is a bro in the body of a hot chick, or a woman's ideal man is a woman in the body of a handsome man?
I think it's the first thing that you said. Yeah.
Most people do. Why is that?
Absolutely.
Because a woman in the body of a handsome man would be a gay man.
Right. Oh, that's true.
Right?
Yeah. That's true.
Right. But a bro in the body of a hot chick, a lot of guys would love to have someone he's attracted to.
Yes.
What they want to do.
Yes.
But we can go watch sports, play video games together.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yep, I kid you not, that's actually very true in that situation.
It's the first thing they definitely
So
think
why
about.
do so many women think that sex is all men think about and all they care about?
Because that's initially what they want from you when they meet you, because they don't know who you are as a person or anything, but they still pursue you to try to sleep with you.
Okay. So tell me if you think this is true or not. A woman is more likely to feel emotionally connected before she can experience physical intimacy, while a man is more likely to experience physical intimacy before he can feel emotionally connected. There you go. So then why would a woman make a man wait? Wouldn't the sooner that she gives
That's
up?
true. That I actually heard that point before, but I feel like some women want to wait because they don't want it to be, they want to make sure that it's not all the man wants from you. So I feel like they think if they're willing to wait, then they actually like me.
But the sooner that you give it up, the sooner that you're gonna know.
There are just too many guys that would just take that and leave. I would never suggest a lady, you know what, just give it to him quickly, but he might give you this emotional connection. No. You don't even want that, because with the pressure of society, in the next fight, he might actually say, "Why you bitch, I fucked you in one day." Ha ha ha. Let's just say a lady has to filter it correctly if she can to detect if he has these narcissistic feelings. But then again, it's a gamble. You just have to grow a little tough skin and you be the guide of how many days you want to wait.
It's true, but you have to make them work for it. It's not for free.
Why do you think that there are some women who find expressions of male emotion to be unattractive?
They're lame. Like, that's pretty lame of them. They probably didn't grow up with brothers.
Do you think women are more attracted to masculine or feminine men?
I'm more attracted to feminine men, so it kind of just depends, like, on what you like.
I would say what's important in this situation is how dependable the person can look if they're masculine or feminine. Because you can look very feminine, but if you're very good at what you're doing and people can depend on you, usually it doesn't matter. People just in general, that's what they respect.
People identify patterns of male emotion to be seen as weak.
Because it's a standard for men to be strong and not be emotional, and then it's a standard for women to be emotional and crazy and stuff like that.
Is it a standard for women to be crazy?
Ooh.
How do you define crazy?
Oh, why did she say that? Oh, you gave him a lot of ammunition.
Crazy is like just doing crazy stuff, like messing up the car, you know, stalking.
Stop. Okay.
Yeah.
But that's a good thing?
No, it's not.
Okay. Do you think it's okay to label people?
I don't think it's good to label people. Assumptions are the killer of all relationships.
So if it's
don't make
wrong,
assumptions.
if it's wrong to label people, why are there some people who get really offended if you don't refer to them with the right pronouns? Isn't that labeling people?
Ooh, hey, I never thought about that. That's a very good point. It's not that I don't want to use the pronouns, but the fact labeling is very bad, right?
Everyone should just be who they are, and I don't care what you label yourself. I'm still going to love you no matter what.
Why is being easy considered a bad thing?
Because it shows that anybody could pursue you, and people don't want anything that everybody could have.
Good answer. I like that.
I just think it's like a negative connotation that is just added to it.
It's a bad thing because it's supposed to be something special. Like you
Yeah.
can't give yourself away.
Do you think that men are intimidated or dislike it when women approach or make the first move?
No, I think men actually like it.
So why don't more women do it?
Because it's, I don't know, me personally, I don't do it because I'm kind of shy.
You think shyness hurts a man or a woman more?
A man.
Right, it does. Okay. Do you think it's true that women will make rules for the wrong guy, but break rules for the right guy?
Definitely.
She said yes before the question even ended. She knew immediately where he was coming from. But what he described is kind of messed up.
Break rules for the right guy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
Like if you're hot, it just goes out the window.
Yeah.
Women claim to be the givers of life. Has a human ever been created without a man's seed?
No.
Women also claim to have what's called pussy power. Would it be possible for women to have this power if men didn't give it to them?
No.
So why aren't women more grateful for what men contribute and sacrifice?
Why aren't men more grateful for women? A man would not be able to carry a baby.
Well, right, true. No, men obviously should be, but don't men typically, protect and provide for women and put women up on pedestals?
Not all the time. Women could put a man up on a pedestal.
But women also don't show gratitude to men all the time either.
Not all the time.
Right, but I'm just saying, maybe,
But-
don't you think that maybe if there was more gratitude shown both ways?
Yeah, definitely.
So, but I'm saying there's obviously, if you look at the media, there's a major movement out there to demonize men and say that masculinity is
people-
toxic and,
It is to a certain extent. They do the same thing to women in
But
the
I mean,
media
is it possible
as
that-
well.
Okay,
Like-
what do you think?
We haven't had a woman president yet.
Yeah, you're going in the wrong direction with this already. At least that's what I think. Some men out there really sucks. I recognize that, so whenever I meet a woman that's kind of defensive, hey, I just go with the flow because I'm sure she experienced something. But I don't think the fact that a woman can be president is what will justify that I will respect her or all the other women. I just respect on the individual level. I don't need like a huge image in front of me to prove that point. Some people might need that. Hey, meet, you're a man, you don't know. Okay, Gucci. But you know what I consider like a powerful woman? Ripley. You remember Ripley, the woman that killed aliens? She was a strong woman. Nobody's talking about her. I love that woman. She wasn't super beautiful. She didn't have boobies out there. She wasn't showing her ass. She was strong. That woman, I was like, oh man, if I didn't have a mom and I had to choose a new one, I want that one battling that alien because she gangster.
For women to have this power if men didn't give it to them.
No. The men have to give them that power.
So why aren't women more grateful for what men contribute and sacrifice?
Because a man is always willing to contribute. A woman is not.
I think it's the fact. Yeah, I think it's the fact that in my experience, I've never met a man who wasn't willing. That's me. I mean, I'm not saying that to be
There's always
conceited,
women that aren't willing.
but there are always women who aren't willing. But a man is kind of like, yeah, okay, always. Men are always down because sex is a priority to men. It's a mind thing.
No, that's a good point and stuff, but I'm saying the fact that men are... Remember we asked about why is being easy considered a bad thing?
Yeah.
Do you think it's a bad thing that men are so easy?
I don't think it's a bad thing. I just
That's a very good point. Yeah, men are very easy in many situations, but our value doesn't decrease because nobody cares what we are giving at that moment. It's more they care about how much we're willing to go because everybody already knows how easy they can get us. But they want to be sure that this easy thing, are you a strong, easy thing? You know what I'm saying? It's like a wet spaghetti that you cannot stretch. You're like, oh man, there's some good Italian spaghetti.
True.
I mean, if she doesn't get voted in, that means that that's not what the population wants, and the population is more than 50% women, so if she's not voted in, that
I
means
feel
that...
like women are brainwashed to think that as well.
Okay.
Women are brainwashed to not choose a woman. I don't think so. I've seen many cases that a lot of women say, I like to listen to specific men that are strict, because most ladies, when they want to help each other, instead of being straight, they sugarcoat it. So they recognize that if they want a president, they want somebody to make the hard decisions, not a sugarcoater, right? Whenever a lady asks me questions, it's more like, Meet, what do you think about this situation? Like, I already heard all this feminine advice, but yours is from a male's perspective. You might have something different. Not that they don't say it to other ladies, but they add the accent, which proves a point to me. They're like, can you just be a little real to me? I'm tired of all this sugarcoating. I need some salt in my life. Or chocolate.
Do you think women are biologically wired to seek out the highest value man they can attract, specifically the best protector and provider?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I
I do. And you know what? We might say that we're not vain, but we are. I know somebody who did IVF, and they were a lesbian couple, and they had to literally flip through every biography of a man for a sperm donor, and they said it was the most conceited thing I've ever done. They said, but I picked the tallest guy with the best degree, with the best credentials, and that's what they picked.
They want to secure the best genes
Right,
for their
exactly,
offspring.
exactly.
Okay. Second
right.
question is, do you think that men are biologically wired to reproduce and spread their seed with as many women as possible?
Yes,
Ooh.
yes. Because for men, sex is a priority.
Men struggle with commitment because we are naturally born to procreate and die. You know, we're meant to run out there, spread our seed, and die. That was what our role was back in the days as cavemen. Now, that still native man that's in us is still in us, but it's trying to be controlled now. So there's only so much you can expect.
So, if both of those are true, is the expectation of a man to be monogamous asking a man to deny his biological instinct to reproduce?
It's denying an instinct because society has changed to a point where marriage is a part of society. To me, marriage is a gambit. You know, marriage is a scam in America because you shouldn't need a piece of paper and a ring to prove you really love someone.
I agree.
It's not, it's just, and what happens after these marriages? Especially now, I mean, the divorce rate, let's say in 1950 was 10%. Now the divorce rate's above 50, and there's guys being left with absolutely nothing who still have to pay alimony and child support. I'm not saying that you should not have to pay that, but for them to take completely everything is unjustified.
But it's not that it's just a piece of paper, it's a commitment. The thing is, most people don't like to commit to each other anymore. We're now in the society that everybody is so individual. The value of the paper is gone because we are living in a world that works automatically. Also, I have a wife in this situation that I believe, at least, when things go bad, her priority is not putting me in a very bad situation. Why do I believe that is a very stable situation for me? Because it happened to my wife's brother. They split up and they handle it cordially. No fighting for houses and business and stuff. Very Gucci. Certain people and families have good morals. Choose the right people you marry. Simple. Look for red flags.
But if just out of curiosity, if you were on a first date, how long would you wait for a guy who was late?
Ooh,
I mean, she's spacey, so she might wait a lot.
if he texted me and told me that he was running late, I would probably wait maybe up to an hour. But if he's not texting,
What is the difference between a man who spoils his woman and a man who's whipped?
The difference between a man who spoils his woman and a man who is whipped is a man who spoils his woman can still go hang out with his boys. He can still do whatever he wants on a Friday night. But a man who is whipped has to check in with her, say, can I go out? Yeah, can I go out with her? I probably shouldn't ask. Because I'm going to get in trouble. Yeah, right? No, right.
Well, it depends. I mean, I've been called in situations that I'm whipped, where it wasn't that I didn't want to go out with my friend. I just wanted to be considerate with my wife.
probably want to be hanging out with his mom more than you, where the man who has a great relationship with his mom sees, the balance of it.
Okay.
And a mama's boy is usually somebody that whenever things go bad, he will create a discussion right in front of the mom. Or he will hide behind this mom. Yeah, but my mom asked me this, bada beam, bada boom.
There's so much talk about a woman's body, her choice, and like that. My question is, if we give a woman the right to opt out of motherhood should we also give a man the right to opt out of fatherhood and 18 years of child support?
I agree. You don't agree?
No, I don't know.
But if a mom walks into an abortion clinic and says, you know what, I'm not feeling this, and gets an abortion, the dad has no say, how come this mom can't, let's just say it's a one-night stand, just hypothetical, and the mom comes back to the dad and is like, hey, I'm pregnant. Why can't he opt out if she was able to say, hey, I don't want this baby? It's a double standard.
Well, he could obviously sign his rights away, but he cannot physically make somebody have an
But he
abortion.
can't sign his rights away because he has to pay child support.
I mean,
He is legally bound by child
to be
support.
honest, that's just the way it is.
I know, but do you think it's right?
You can't tell a woman to have an abortion. Like, that's it.
I know,
mean,
but do you think it's right that a mom can say, I don't want this baby, but a dad never can?
I mean, I just think that's just the way it is.
But do you think it's right?
Oh my God, I'm liking this lady so much. She's making a very straight point. And even her friend is like, huh, dodging. No, it's the way it is.
I mean,
Yes or no? Gun to your head. I don't think it's right. I think the whole system's fucked.
We
on
spend
about
so
that.
much time talking about a woman's choice.
Right, but the man doesn't have one.
But my only point is, what reproductive rights does a man have?
None.
That's a very interesting point. Yes, a woman can just say, hey, I want an abortion. But if a guy says, I don't want, there isn't a legal way that a guy can say, I don't want this.
As a man, you need to know what happens. It's your responsibility to know what happens, and you need to have self-restraints in order to make sure you don't get into situations
Are you
like
talking
this.
about just for a man or for both parties?
I feel like this falls more on the responsibility of the man,
Why do you feel that it's more on the responsibility of the man than equally?
because as men, women, they got hormones, they got things going through their head, they got a lot of...
Do you think that being emotional entitles anyone to sympathy or special treatment?
I would say I would have more special treatment for women when they're emotional than I do when men when they're emotional.
But isn't an emotional man more dangerous than an emotional woman? So a woman can be irrational, but we cannot be irrational, but we're still responsible for the baby because we cannot opt out?
Because I feel men, you need to be strong. You need to be strong physically and mentally. And if you're not strong in both, you're going to lead to creating a path of fucking destruction and getting yourself into things like this. Because as a man, you need to know how to be strong. And doing shit like that makes you a weak man, in my opinion.
Say that's just the way it is. Why bother fighting for any social change?
That's a good point. I mean, when you say social change...
Sorry, I really want to hear what you...
Yeah, when you say social change, what do you mean?
What if we just said, well, women don't have the right to vote? That's just the way it is.
But that's not the way it is.
Well,
physically,
I know, but the way
physically.
what I'm saying is the way it is changes all the time.
Yeah, I agree.
So why
But you
why
cannot
should we?
physically make a woman have an abortion. That's it. So
Well, no, I'm
when
not saying.
Either way, though.
Well,
either
well,
way.
my point is, I'm not even asking should we force women to have abortions. I'm saying if we give a woman the right to choose, why can't we give a man the right to choose?
I agree.
I understand if you are a rape victim or you're a young woman who, maybe just didn't know, weren't paying attention and one thing led to another and now you have a child. But to opt out of fatherhood and opt out of motherhood, like I'm the perfect example. My father didn't sit there and raise me, and I had a lot of issues growing up.
No wonder he had such a strong opinion about it, because I'm a mama's boy without a mom. He's a mama's boy with a mom, but with a sucky father. So he has his point. No wonder I was like, why is he so strong about this responsibility? Makes sense. Everybody has a thing if you just listened a while.
The fact that he chose to run out based off of the decision that he made to do with my mom makes him a coward. So the baby has to suffer now because you don't have the resources to take care of it.
But at the same time, we have a system that incentivizes people to make a bunch of babies because they know they are not officially responsible for that whole catch. Some people are like, you know what, I'm just going to have the baby and you have to pay. I think that's unfair. It's going so much out of control now. Like, for example, in UK, you can actually have a baby, not go to work, and you earn more money than the people that go to work.
The argument that I hear all the time is, well, the man's reproductive rights should have been exercised early. He should have thought of that before he had sex. But the problem with that argument is that is the exact same argument that pro-lifers use against
That's
abortion.
true. You're right. It's hypocritical.
Don't get me wrong, ma cosa kita bong. Butta fire na mi blonde, kush hash, purple skunk, criollo, colombici, jam jam, turloqueta, verdeta, welcome.